Jones.
Anita Jones.
You'll never outwork me, I'ma outwork you. You say you got big dreams, time to show and prove. So you can make it off the elevator. That's right, like I made it off the elevator. You'll never outwork me, I'ma outwork you. You say you got big dreams, time to show and prove. So you can make it off the elevator. That's right, like I made it off the elevator.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Eat the Nugget Sundays. My name is Anita Jones and I am the CEO at Made It Off the Elevator LLC. Made It Off the Elevator LLC, for those who are tuning in for the very first time, is a personal and professional development company where we specialize in motivation and inspiration to inspire people around the world. That's right, here we motivate, penetrate hearts, and change lives. People come here to eat the nugget because they want to digest the information and make it applicable in their lives, and or if they know someone who can use the information and make it applicable in their lives, right? Because the message may not necessarily be for you, but it is for someone else. And so if you know someone who can benefit from listening to the words that I utter, send them in so that they can get the nugget, you know? Stop being selfish. Send them right here to Eat the Nugget platform where they can grow and they can learn and they can develop and become better human beings. Because like I mentioned earlier in the previous episode, there's enough bad in this world, right? And so I am here to highlight the good and to hone in on the good through motivation and inspiration, okay? Utilizing those tools to penetrate you and to help you, to assist you, to push you. That's right. That is what I love to do, and I have nothing but passion behind it. And so today is episode 23. That's right, episode 23. And it's about work. The title is work. Four-letter word, W-O-R-K, work. It's universal. None of us can escape it unless you've decided to be a couch potato and don't accomplish anything in your life, right? Unless you made that decision, I'm sure there's something that I'm going to say that can penetrate you in some way, shape, fashion, or form and assist you and motivate you and get you up and get you out and get you working, right? Working on that thing that you really want to do in life, because we all, like I've mentioned earlier, we all have something deep down within that we want to pursue. And there are things in our life that we allow to hinder us from getting to that thing. And so no more excuses. Stop making excuses. Put in the work, right? So work is the topic for today. However, as usual, I want to give out some shout outs, right? And I want to thank people. And I want to first thank the people that reached out to me during these times, because if you've watched episode 22, you would have learned that I lost my uncle last week. And so thank you so much for reaching out with your condolences, your love, and your support. Is gladly appreciated. I want to give a huge shout out, man. It's going down. Brooklyn, stand all the way up. I want to give a huge shout out to my young cuz, Hi Sadiddy. That's right, Hi Sadiddy and Shy Bigger. Okay? So they're a duet. Although they both are solo artists, when they come together, the chemistry, it's like a boiling pot. You know, boiling over. The heat is just, they just bring so much heat. It's ridiculous. I love their style, love their chemistry, and they flow. And I'm so excited for them because Funk Master Flex, for those that don't know who Funk Master Flex is, maybe you've been sitting under a rock all these years. He is considered, one of the number one DJs in New York City, been around for many, many years on Hot 97, and he has recognized the realness in Shy Bigger and Hasa Diddy and played their song on the radio the other day. And so I just want to give a huge shout out and a congratulations to those two artists. If you want to follow them, ain't no if, you need to. If you don't, you're gonna be missing out. Cause you know, hip hop, we need new female MCs. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of the bubblegum, yip yap, knick knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, boobs and butts. You know, I want to hear bars over butts. And so if you want to follow them and learn more about my young cousin and Shy Bigger, you follow them at, because last time I made a mistake and I spelled high, H-I-I, but it's at High Sididdy, H-I-I-I, 3 I's, Sididdy, S-I-D-D-I-T-Y. So at High Sididdy on Instagram, you can follow on Instagram, and you can also follow Shy Bigger at Shy Bigger, S-H-A-A-B-I-G-G-A-A. So don't miss out on that new hip hop. They the new wave. So get with it. And the second shout out I want to give is to my big sis. You know, I don't talk about my big sis much, but I love you. I love my niece, and I'm so glad that you used to, you know, yank me by the collar. I didn't like it then, and may not like kind of the ways you did it back then, even now, but I appreciate the fact that you yanked me by my collar and said, no, surrounding yourself with what we call back in the day chicken heads, or people that wasn't about anything. She always was there pushing me, telling me, you know, you need to stop surrounding yourself around these people because they're not about nothing. They don't have any plans to go somewhere or be somebody. You know, and she would always come out with the beast mode. People know what it is. They know that about my sister. And so I just want to thank you so much for being there for me and pulling me out the quicksand every chance that you got. Okay? And so I also stand in solidarity with Asians and Pacific Islands during these times. Stop the violence. You know, I am in solidarity with you. I am here with you during these times. Terrible, tragic. You know, they don't deserve that. No one does. And so let's stop the violence, people. Let live. Let people live. You know, such a tragic current event. Moving along, work, right? Similar to what Rihanna said, but here is Bluestein. Okay, Bluestein, David Bluestein, The Psychology of Working. Very good read. This read is a requirement for one of the courses that I'm taking in my doctorate program. Okay. However, there was a vignette in this text that I need to incorporate into the topic so that I can broaden this idea of work. Okay. What is work? Psychologically, from a psychological standpoint, and I really love psychology because the mind is the most powerful organ we have in our bodies. And if we don't have control over our mind and how it operates, it can prevent you from moving forward. So a lot of people, most people, let's keep it real now. Don't mind me if I get a little thorough or a little bit more harsh on you, because before I started this Nugget, I was listening to David Goggins. Shout out to David Goggins, by the way. Phenomenal motivational speaker. Maybe a bit hardcore for people that don't get it, but I get it, and I get you. As a Marine, I get it. He was once a Navy SEAL, and so he's coming raw and real. You know, and some people may cry, and run in the corner because a lot of the things he's saying is very true, and it will penetrate you, right? And if you're not ready to grow, then I suggest you don't turn on David, because he's raw and truthful. And I appreciate you for that, David. Okay? Back to work. Okay? Back to work from a psychological standpoint. I do my best not to be so harsh in my speaking because I understand psychology. I have an undergraduate degree in psychology with a minor in criminal justice. I have a master's in industrial organizational psychology, and I'm working on my doctorate in organizational leadership, which is psychologically based. We utilize psychology to understand leadership, because as a leader, leadership is an idea, and you have to use your mind in that process and behaviors. Okay, that makes a leader. Okay, so we utilize psychology. In this text, again, Bluestein 2006. Okay, 2006 is a vignette, and the vignette talks about Booker T. Washington. For those who are tuning in for the first time, if you don't know this, I'm a professor. So if you don't know who Booker T. Washington is, do your due diligence and go do some research and learn about him, okay? Booker T. Washington, right, talks about his experience with work. But again, let me, I missed something, okay? Let me fast forward. What is work? Work is what we do to express ourselves from a psychological standpoint. Work is that thing that we spend most of our hours in the day on to earn income. Okay. Work, we produce work through energy. The energy that we have in our body produces work. We decide what it is that we love to do in small cases, right? In the lower amount of cases, people do what they love. Some people, the majority, of people just work just to get by, to pay the bills. They have no passion. They don't love what they do. That is part of why they're limited. That's why they're amongst the average and they can't excel, because you're doing something that you really dread. And, it's just to me, it can almost be a waste of time, because when you do something that you dread, you don't give it your all. You don't play full out. You don't participate all the way, and you are probably lacking in a lot of areas when you do something that you really don't want to do. At work, I'm referring to, because there are things in life that we have to do that suck, such as working out, and staying fit and staying in shape and staying away from burgers and chips and buns. That's gonna blow you up, right? We it's not easy to, make smarter choices in what it is that we eat. It's not easy to do those things. It's not easy to get up in the morning and exercise. It's not easy for me to get up at 0:30, hit my bike for a few miles, go link up with my personal trainer. And yes, I do have a personal trainer, and David Goggins may laugh at me, but I personally want and need that extra push so that I can get the job done. Or it's not that easy for me to link up with my dance instructor and she worked me to sweat. That's not easy, right? Those are the sucky things in life. But when it comes to work and the thing that you really put the most time in, you want to love it. Why do something that you really don't love to do? Sometimes we have to do that to get to where we want to be, but in most cases, people do it just because, and they do it for 50 and 60 years. They retire and then that's it. They're done with life, I'm about going above and beyond, okay? Doing the hard work, right? Living that lifestyle, living that luxurious, wanting the finer things in life. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people like Payless shoes, and then some people like to go to Saks Fifth Ave and get real leather shoes. I grew up wearing Payless shoes. I didn't have an option. So now, the goal is work hard so I could go to Saks Fifth, cop what I want, right? And feel good about that. There's nothing wrong with wanting the finer things in life. Absolutely not. And when you're willing to put in the work, the hard work, then you buy yourself what it is that you prefer, okay? And so work, that is what work is, okay? It is doing something that represents who you are, right? It is putting large hundreds and thousands of hours in something that is gonna earn you money, because we don't make money. People are, I make money. How the hell do you do that? You are not the federal bank. You don't the Federal Reserves, excuse me. That's who make money. Federal Reserves, not you. You earn money, okay? So knock off that I make money. You don't make anything. You earn it, okay? Unless you, like I said, are the Federal Reserves. And so work. Here's what the vignette I want to bring about work. Booker T. Washington. Okay? Go look him up if you don't know who he is. He was once a slave. Somebody asked him in an interview about sports. And yes, I'm looking down at my notes and at the book, because sometimes I can't store all of the information in my mind. I need to revert back to my notes or to bullet points so that I can elaborate on it, okay? Booker T. Washington, someone asked him to talk about sports. Have he ever played in sports or worked in sports? Something to that nature in the interview. And he said as far back as he can remember, he has always worked. There was never a time in his life where he didn't work, especially as a slave. He talks about how when he was a slave, he wasn't big enough to be in the field, right? So his physique did not help him in that area. And so he would have to do the sucky job by going down to the mill, which was about 3 to 4 miles away from the slave huts. And he would have to take the horses down to the mill, and he hated doing this. He said he dreaded it. He was a young fella, a young child, and he dreaded doing this. It was scary going through the woods and going down to the mills to get the big bags of corn and bring them back, right? He said, but during this process, on his way back, somehow, even though those bags of corn had the same amount of weight on each side, and they would lay it across the horse, somehow, some way on his way back, the corn would fall, and they were too heavy for him to lift on his own. And so he talked about these chance passers, right? People passing by chance that would finally, and it would be dark by then, they would help him lift up the corn to put it back on the horse, right? And then he'd make his way back to the slave master, and he would get his behind whipped because he came back too late, and it would happen every time. And so he dreaded the mills, but he did the work, right? And his message is, there was not ever a point in time in his life where he didn't work, okay? And my message to you is, in order for you to get to the next level, you have to put in the work, okay? You must put in the work. People say, or may ask, who are you to talk about that? What makes you an expert in this area? Well, for one, I am working on my doctorate in the area. And for two, I'm not saying that I am the guru of work, right? What I am saying is I know about the process of development. And through the process of development, you must work. If you want to develop and you want to be a better person and you want to reach higher heights and you want to go to the next level in life, you must work. There is no escaping it, okay? My goal, right, is to be an international motivational speaker. I must work. I must put the work in, okay? increase my vocabulary. I must increase my level of comprehension. I must increase my analytical skills so that I can have information to bring to you all, to speak on, to speak about. In order for me to get to the next level, I had to get rid of smoking and drinking. Yes, for those who know me that know that I smoke, or I don't do it anymore. It's gone. It ceased to exist. In order for me to be at the top of my game, I must maintain a clear head. And I have to be healthy. How in the world can I talk about development and I'm diminishing my health by indulging in fifths of Remy or Dulce? Because I stopped drinking garbage when I was drinking. I was drinking top shelf and top shelf only and really overdoing it, okay? No, I don't drink no more. I don't smoke no more. And for those who don't know my story, I grew up in the 80s during the crack cocaine epidemic. And yes, the adults around me smoked. Everybody smoked. They didn't give a crap about children in the room. My aunts and my uncles, they lit them up, fired it up. And most people in my family smoked. And so I thought, oh, well, then hell, everybody else is doing it. I might as well do it too. And so I'm not blaming my family for me picking up the bad habit. So don't get it twisted or misconstrued. What I'm saying is the environment had an influence on me. But I made that horrible, terrible decision to pick up that habit and indulge in it. And it's terrible. It's one of the worst things that you can do to yourself. Smoke. Like, it's disgusting. You know what I mean? And I'm just being honest. And some people may say brutally honest. My cousin told me the other day, like, cuz you're brutally honest. Hey, well, call it brutal, call it what you want. It's disgusting. Drinking till I get toe up and pass out. Like, no, none of that anymore. When I speak to you, I'm speaking to you with the clear mind. And for the record, don't ask me about smoking or drinking or do I want to drink, because I don't want to drink. If you want to pass me some agua. This is the best thing smoking, okay? And it allows my urine to be clear, all right? As it should be. And it helps with your pH balance. And so, yes, in order for you to work hard, you need to be healthy. How can you work hard and get to the next level and you're unhealthy? You eating nothing but greasy foods, fried foods. Listen, I grew up on all of that. And I believe that the adults during that time, if they would have known better, they would have done better. Well, guess what? I became educated and I learned that that's crap that I was putting in my body and I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm not doing it anymore, period. Through the grace of God, he is guiding me through this path, okay? And it feels so good to wake up sober with a sober mind and not depending on alcohol to have a good time or have fun. I can still go out and listen to music and don't have to indulge to have a good time. Hello? Is somebody out there feeling me? It has to be someone out there feeling me. We are killing ourselves with this crap. Let it go, especially my urban people. Like, y'all know what it is. Y'all know I'm from the hood, born and raised, and now I have the best of both worlds. I'm professional and I'm street smart. And so I get it completely. Trust me, I do. But you don't need that to be cool. You don't need that to look fly. You don't even need it to look intimidating, because that's what a lot of people in the hood do. They want to look intimidating, tough, and all of that. Like, you don't need that. It don't look good on you. You're out of shape. It's making you sick. You're waking up with hangovers, and it doesn't do you well. Right? For those who indulge deeply like I did. And it's not a good look. How can I motivate and teach people about development, but, you're smoking and you're drinking and you're getting high? I didn't really get high anymore, but I used to smoke weed back in the day. That's right. I'm being transparent. I used to do all of that. I don't do any of it anymore. Okay? And I feel good, like James Brown. I knew that I would now. I feel good. Like James Brown. Anyhow, I'm going into my music. I always find a way to connect music to the topic. The point is, work hard and you can have anything you want in life. That's my nugget for today. I went almost to 25 minutes, but guess what? The message needed to be said. I had to say it in this amount of time, okay? I couldn't say it in a shorter amount of time. And so I hope that you took the nugget, ate the nugget, and digest the nugget. Be sure to work hard. Work hard, and you can have anything you want in life. Thank you all so much for your time. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend about it. And I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
You say you got big dreams, time to show and prove, so you can make it off the elevator. Like I made it off the elevator. You never outwork me, I'ma outwork you. You say you got big dreams, time to show and prove, so you can make it off the elevator. Like I made it off the elevator.